Hi, this is Mrs. Gochin, the Media Specialist at William N. Middle School. In this video, I will demonstrate how to use the updated notes and outline features of NoodleTools that provide online tools for taking notes and generating an outline of your research paper that is integrated with the online notes and Google Docs. NoodleTools notes and outline features provide a paperless research environment that supports you and helps you stay organized in your research. Let's take a look at these features now. In NoodleTools, you would log in, create a project, and then go to the dashboard for that research project. I'm going to use a project for an English research project that was done related to Kill a Mockingbird, and use that as an example. Your first step would be to enter the citations for at least one source or several sources that you want to use to take notes from. You must enter at least one source citation before you begin taking online notes. As you can see, I have several online sources here now. So next, you would click the Note Cards tab at the top menu. This brings you to the Note Cards tabletop view of your note cards. I already have some note cards, as you can see. Let's explore what a note card looks like and how we create a new one in this project. To create a new note card, you click on the green New button. A blank note card opens up. There are several fields you must fill in, and then 3 sections of the note card: the direct quotation section, the paraphrase or summary section, and the My Ideas section. Let's go through what each field and section is used for. The first field is the title field, or the title of the note card. I usually fill this field in last after I have entered my notes and have a better idea for a meaningful title that describes the notes in the card. The title should be about 3 or 4 words that describe what notes are contained in the note card. This helps you when you are sorting and organizing your notes. The next field is the source field. This is where you connect this note card to the source of the notes, the database article, the web page, the book, etc. If you click the drop-down menu, any citations that have been entered in this project will be listed in that drop-down menu. For the example I'm doing, I'm going to be using this source from a database, so let me select that now. The next 2 fields on the right are optional: URL and page. They can be useful to you in going back to sources later. If you're taking notes from a web source, adding that URL is helpful for you or your teacher to easily go directly to that source when reviewing the notes. And the same is true for the page field if it's a book source or a multi-page article from a database or a website. Putting in the specific page number that you are taking notes from can be useful to you if you need to go back to the source for any reason. The source I'm using does not have page numbers, so I will leave that blank. The 3 sections play important roles in your note-taking. The direct quotation section on the left, with the words copy, paste, and annotate here inside it, is where you will paste the text from your online source that you are reading and taking notes from. In this box, you can then highlight or mark up the text and insert images even to use in your research. The source that I have is a database article from the Opposing Viewpoints in Context database, and it's an article called Little Rock 9. I've decided that I want to take notes from this paragraph within this source. So I select it, copy it, go back to my note card, and paste it into the direct quotations box. Oh, and it's telling me I have to use Control V. So let me do that. There we go. And now I've pasted that paragraph into the direct quotations box. Now I can use these word processing tools along here to highlight annotate, and in other ways mark up this paragraph to identify the information that I want to pull from it. And so as I look at it, I think I will highlight right here, Governor Faubus ordered the Arkansas National Guard to bar black students from Central High, because I am writing a paper that talks about the things that happened to prevent those students, the Little Rock 9 students, from getting into Central High. So I'll select that, and then down here, 8 students were turned away by guardsmen at bayonet point. I'm going to select that as well as important information I want. And then that Elizabeth Eckford was threatened by a white mob and narrowly avoided injury. And let's see what else. Even after a federal judge secured withdrawal of the guardsmen, local police escorted the black students to school. Faubus remained defiant. So I'm going to select that as well. So I have those 4 pieces of information within the original text that I now want to take notes from. So the next section, the paraphrase or summary section, is where I now take the information I've decided I want to pull out of the original text and put it in my own words. So I'll do that here, and I'll use bullet lists because bullets always remind me not to write full sentences and to try to keep it in my own words. And so here I would then type in my understanding of the direct quotation material, and if I need to pull a direct quote from there, I would make sure that I put it in double quotes. So I might say, Faubus had Arkansas National Guard prevent Little Rock 9, and I'll use LRN, from going into Central High. And then I might say Little Rock 9 were met by guardsmen with bayonets. And Elizabeth Eckford harassed by, now I want to say white mob, which is directly from the text, so I'm going to put that in quotes, by white mob and almost injured. And I think I misspelled harassed, so let's see. Nope, maybe not. Maybe it just doesn't recognize it. Okay. And let's see, what's my last one? And that Faubus still resisted integration despite federal judge rulings and local police walking students, let me say LRN students into Central High. Okay, so now I have my notes and my original words based on what I pulled out of there. And then this third box, my ideas, original thinking. This is where I might post questions I have, new questions, or better understanding I have now after having read this source, anything that might help you in moving forward in your research. So in this case, I might be thinking that I'd like to find out more about Elizabeth Eckford's encounter with the white mob. And these aren't notes, so I'm not worrying about putting quotes around white mob, because this is a question for me personally to now go out and research some more. Okay? So now that I've finished the notes for this, I can come back up to the title field and now give this note card a title that represents what's in it. So I might call it LRN for Little Rock 9 going to Central High. So that's really what I was talking about is, maybe I would say, maybe a better one would be resistance, LRN resistance going to Central High. That's a little long, but I think it does describe it. Now these last two fields down here, tags and my tags. Tags are either written words, icons, or colors that can be used to identify characteristics of a note card that can then be used for sorting and organizing. So right here is where you can write some written word tags. So I might write some tags like Little Rock 9. Oops, I think I have to put it in quotes to make it one tag. Little Rock 9. Let's see, Central High, and resistance. So those are some tags that I think I might give it. And then I can click the Save and Close button, and that note card will be saved. As you can see, it's right up here. I'm just going to drag it over. You can take note cards, and you can drag them anywhere on the tabletop. So as you'll see, I already have some note cards that I've physically organized on the tabletop. So I see this set down here has to do with Little Rock 9 students and going to Central High. So I think I'm going to bring that note card down to that group because that's where it best fits. So I can kind of organize my note cards as I go. If you hover your mouse over a note card, you can then select either Details to see the details of the note card, Edit to open up the note card and be able to go back in and change things, or add a comment to the note card. So if I went back to this one and clicked Edit, you'll see it opens back up, and if I wanted to, I could add more to it. Another way of organizing notes is to create piles of note cards. And to do this, you actually lay note cards on top of each other, which creates a grouping, and then you name that grouping or pile. So for instance, if I wanted to now take these note cards and make them into a pile, because they're all related, I could take this one, lay it on top of that one to create a pile, and I could name the pile maybe Little Rock 9 Student Experiences. And then say OK. And so now that's a pile of 2 note cards. And maybe I want to now take this one and add it to that pile. Okay, and see, now it tells me I have 3 note cards in there. And then I'll take this one and add it in, and now I have 4 note cards in there. And then when I hover over the pile, you'll see I can expand it. It tells me the names of the note cards in it. I can expand, and now I can see those note cards and then be able to go in and work on individual cards as needed. If I decide I don't like that grouping and I want to undo it, you just take a note card and drag it out of the pile. And if you drag all the note cards out of the pile, so I will undo this pile. Didn't quite get that one. There we go. Now the pile is 0. It hasn't gone away, but there are no note cards in it. So I could then use it and add other note cards to it if I wanted. Or if I decide I don't want that pile anymore, I can click on it and then simply click Delete up here. Are you sure you wanted to delete the note card or pile? Yes, I am. Okay, so piling or grouping on the tabletop is a way to sort and organize. To sort and organize your note cards. So here's the basic use of note cards. Once you've created all these note cards, you can then begin to integrate them into an outline. In another video, I will explain about the outline. I hope this has helped you to